what are the things you need to look out for if you want to buy a used car?
I think first things first, go with an expert. Another problem we have is...
The problem is that the expert can compromise you. To any which way you turn.
Unfortunately.
There's any which way you turn, there's a DIY element in it.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you go, they'll be winking at the expert.
Don't worry.
You get it.
No, but there are things that you can do yourself, and there are
Yes.
things that you should rely on an expert. I think, for me, once I'm looking to buy a vehicle, first thing, once you get there, start the vehicle, let it run.
Yes.
While it's
Don't
running,
raise the engine.
don't raise it. While it's running, go around, check the body, check for potential weld spots, right? So if you look at like the frame, the chassis, has it had any impact? Particularly frontal impact. Let me give some tricks. For example, if you are checking a vehicle, the windscreen of the vehicle is usually branded by the manufacturer's name. So if it's our popular Japanese brand, you will have it there.
Yeah.
If it has been changed, you would have an OEM part there. So maybe like a denser, right? So once you see that, then you know something has happened. Right? So you start to check backwards, say, okay, what am I missing? Same thing. So if you look at, the rear side of the car, for example, raise up the foot mark, check the boot floor, if there's any, if the metal has been squashed, right, to see if there's any impact there. Then put on the AC, see if it's cooling, very important. Interior, you can sight easily. So another trick, if you want to see if someone, like we were discussing this morning, when you see the usage of the car, and the mileage doesn't align with the usage, you're like, there's something up here. If a car is, for example, a 2010 car, that's 14 years. On an average, a vehicle should do 15,000 miles a year. Then you see a 2010 car and it's telling you it's just 60,000 miles, which is just, 4 years. There's a problem. So
or at least you need to, because again, there's some, Nigerians can be well off. Some people usually have 2 cars.
Yes.
I don't run that much mileage, for example.
Yes, so it's possible. It's very possible.
Yes,
right.
But just an alarm to go up in the
trigger,
head.
yes.
Another car that bothers me that I'd like to know up front is flooded cars.
Yes.
So I'd like to tell them, you need to make sure that you can smell the coffee.
Exactly.
What do you call it? Flooded cars have a peculiar smell.
Yes. Exactly.
A bit of a damp
smell. Exactly. So you have a damp smell. You probably see mold in some places, like especially places that light doesn't get into. So again, the boots.
Yes.
Check under the initial rug. And in some cases, the flood would have caused rust.
Yes.
So check for rust spots as well. And then if you check for rust spots, just check what state it's coming from, because some is just the weather. Like cars from Canada might have, but when the state doesn't have weather conditions that should cause rust, then there's a problem.
Now, usually when we buy cars, you find us talking about American specs. Well, I want American specs. One of the things I know is that cars in Europe usually won't have air conditioning. I think these days they have, though.
Yeah, different.
So, what do you mean by American specs?
So there's now Dubai spec as well, which is...
There's Dubai specs.
No, but when people say American spec, what has happened is that the Americans like comfort because they travel long distances. I mean, cities are far apart. So they like comfort. So they go for the best conditions, the leather interior, massage seats, heated seats, those kind of, cruise control, things like that. But if you look at European cities, much smaller,
yes.
So they don't necessarily need all those comfort options. So the typical American will go in and say, I want it fully kitted. So put in all the bells and whistles. So that's and then with our friends in the Middle East, they just want the best of the best. So now there's Dubai spec.
But I heard that the Dubai spec side, the air conditioning is usually
it's really good because
really
the weather
good because of the weather.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a call. What's the time now? 9:48. We'll soon be out of here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jimmy.
Pastor Ladipo.
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Please, I want to, concerning this car stuff, I want to quickly ask your guest a question. You are talking about checking some of the things that you need to look out for when you are getting those cars. My question is, does windscreen, as in the main windscreen, does it expire? That suddenly you just see the windscreen start cracking, and someone will tell you, the windscreen has expired. Yes.
Okay, answer him now.
No, it doesn't. To the best of my
This
knowledge, it
doesn't
doesn't expire.
It probably would be subject to the pressure.
Exactly. So
Pressure.
Sometimes people leave things in the cars that cause more pressure.
More pressure.
Yeah. So no,
but what you do is always let air into your car.
Yes.
Just and then don't have the habit of your car has been locked up in the sun and you are ready to now take off. You just put the key inside and put on the AC again. I mean these things.